Good morning, everybody. It's BATJAC J.W. And yes, you are tuned into J.W.'s radio because it's Saturday morning. Well, we're doing a different format, and I'll explain a little bit. But you are listening to an audio format of the show. How about that? A little bit different. I guess that would make it more sense. It would be radio show, right? So you're tuned in to the radio show. The last one we talked about odds and ends and different types of things. So before we get started here, let's dive into some comments. So we got the Gunfighter 45 ACP. He says coffee and gun shows go hand in hand. Yes. So all right. Let's see. We got. I found a place that makes it. I guess he's talking to good old Santee over there at the Arizona Ghostwriters. Quite a little conversation going back and forth there. But also I got Mr. Zona Cat 1, and he says it's never too early for Halloween. Isn't that the truth? I tell you. And he says, all right. So we got Mr. Holster there, and let's see. And we got Varen K, of course, the Arizona Ghostwriters. And we have Three Wolves 4570, who says, hang in there, all comes to those who wait. That is very true there. And Bob Hartman left a comment. I guess he's tuning in the afternoon. And MP Gunther 1, he says he loves old horror movies as well. You will definitely be interested in some of the videos upcoming up. Hopefully you're subscribed also to the second channel here, the BATJAC J.W. radio show channel as well, where we are doing more of this format. It pops up quite more often than anything, the chat box stuff. And I have Muzzle First, Edward Petty, Lead 8541, Scott F. Led is always giving a big thumbs up, and thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Big Al, he says, there's nothing like a good gun show, man. Yeah, that's true. And Joe P, good morning, my Joe. Take a sip of that coffee right there. From a really nice coffee cup. You know what I'm talking about, Joe. All right. Crazy Scotsman. Yes, I did answer your PM, Scotsman. So I don't know if you got to it. I did get around to a laptop. So I will mention it. We were talking about C-Max Arms, another YouTube channel. He's going through a bout with cancer. That is not fun. It's never fun for anybody. That's a hard battle, man. And every people that are going through that need all the support and help they can get. So C-Max, hope you pull through there, buddy. Go ahead and check them out. I guess they're running a GoFundMe campaign for him. So C-Max Arms, wish you all the best, and so I appreciate it. And thank you to Scotsman for letting me aware of that. So we as a YouTube community here, we try to keep and stand by each other as best we can. So, all right, keep up the fight, my friend. Okay, Richard Linderos and 454 Packer, E.B. St. Bernard Flood. All right. Yeah, I busted out that shotgun the last time we talked about it. Was it the Winchester Defender? That's the Defender that I have, of course, old school wood and steel, right? So, hit the gun show this over the last weekend. We got some swag. I did meet one of you out there, so thanks for saying hello. It was really cool to meet you and say hi and everything. So that's always cool, you know, to meet you guys in person that are a big fan of the channel and everything. So that's really cool. So some of the things that I got, I guess I walked through the whole show. I really did. I was going through the show, and it was a big one, too. It was quite a big show, and I was really looking for something. I said, I can't leave here without buying something. I got to buy something, right? So I just kept searching around and going through it, and eventually a lot of these gun shows out here, at least what I noticed, it's the same vendors. So you always get the same vendors, the same guys. And for the most part, they got the same I hate to sound like this, but it's like the same overpriced guns. As if they haven't quite, they're still waiting for that sucker to come in there and go, oh yeah, I'll pay you $500 for that thing that's only worth like $200 or something like that. Maybe they're just waiting for that guy. Maybe that's just like, it's like, oh, okay, we'll just hold out for that one guy. But yeah, it's always the same stuff. Some of the prices are definitely astronomical. Sometimes I'm sure most of you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're on that side of the counter, as I call it, the buyer side, sometimes you go, is this, what's up with this? What's up with this guy's price? And it seems to, happen a lot. I've learned the old just walk away. I've literally just went, okay, and just never bought it. I just was like, I'm not interested. I just walk away. I'm the pull the walk away thing, But no, I was walking through the whole show, and I really was just like, man, I gotta buy something. I just didn't know what. It was almost like my money was burning a hole in my pocket. I didn't know what to get, so I just kept circling around. And there's this table. There's a gentleman there. He's always there. Every time I've gone to one of these shows, he's usually there. So what he had 3 knives, and they're all what they call a Rizzuto. Rizzuto switchblade knives. Those are old classic knives from the 50s and 60s. They're really cool. They're the definite iconic ones that if you're like me, that's really fascinated by them because of the movies you see them with. Usually they always pop out in a movie or two, a lot of Jimmy Dean movies and stuff. So, but that's when they usually pop up, and that's when I usually see them, and even in other movies. Actually, one of my favorite ones is the one in Hellraiser. That one is just super cool, but it's like darn near impossible to find. I tell you, if I ever find one, and it's not just like a ridiculous price, I will snatch it up. I have seen ones like it. They're just not quite the handles are wrong, but I did see it, and they're called a Toledo switchblade. Now, I should buy a book on these because I'm so fascinated with them. But I saw it, and it was called the Toledo. That's what they call it. I'm probably butchering that word, but or the name, but that's what it is. And there was a website that had it, and they have one similar to it. It's not the exact one, but it's as close as you can get. It's got black handles instead of the phony stag handles, but they want $2,000 for it, and that's no joke. And we're talking about a knife here. Yes. So I said, no. Anyway, so this fella here, I've seen him a few times. I've always passed through his table, and he's got these classic Rizzutos. And I've looked up Rizzutos before, and at first when I saw them, I said, oh, these are probably like nice cheapy little knives. And I looked them up, and it's like, whoa, that's the exact opposite. It's not cheap at all. It's rather expensive. So when I saw him, and I've haggled the guy with him back and forth before, and we came to a nice agreement. Now, mind you, I'll give you this little tidbit. When you look up Rizzutos, especially onto like websites like autoknife.com or something like that, you look at those Rizzutos, and Rizzutos, I'm not kidding you, they are like $500-600, okay, and some of them are $300 or $400. That's just what I'm gauging that just by what I saw on that one website. I'm sure you probably get them cheaper somewhere else. I'm not sure, but he had a really nice white-handled one. In fact, I got it right here in my hands. This nice white-handled one. It's got a little lanyard thing on the bottom, and it's got nice little brass buttons, control buttons, and it's a swing guard. That's my favorite type, is a swing guard, where the guard folds down with the blade into the side of the handle. Right here. So, listen to this. Yes, that is absolutely cool. That is the classic sound. I love that sound. I just never get tired of it. So he had this one. It's in good shape. It works really well, and that's always important because a lot of them are beat up pretty bad. So it works really well. Clicks out nice. We came to agreement of $80 for it, $85. I think I finally tipped him over the edge at 85 because I think we were talking back and forth. He says, he goes, I don't know. He goes, what did I tell you the price was last time? And I said, I think $100. He goes, and I said, I got 80. And he kind of did one of those, like I could tell he was kind of like, yeah, that's a little low. And I threw in the extra 5, and I think that's what put him over the edge. So I finally got it, and I was like, you know what, I'm happy. I walked away with a cool knife, something I'll really enjoy. So that was a win for me, I guess. Oh, nice coffee. So anyhow, that was the gun show for me, and I'll feature the knife on the channel. You'll see it, and also definitely going to use it and feature it in a video, maybe like a skit or a video that I've been doing with the Arizona Ghost Riders. So, Mr. Santee, if you were listening to this, yes, we have a knife to feature. And I'm really happy to be able to feature some of my knives in some of the skits because it's really cool. Because what they do for me when the movies I saw them and how they grab me and they really stand out to me, I want to do the same in my own type of little skits and stuff. So that's always really fun. So yes, that was the gun show score for me. And I got this other cool thing in the mail, and I'll talk about it. It's kind of neat. I've been celebrating Halloween in August, if you will. I recently purchased, and this is all kind of interesting, but I recently purchased a special edition of the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original one from the 70s, 74. I recently picked up an edition. I ordered it off Amazon. Really cool. It's a box set, but it's in the shape of the semi truck in the end of that movie. It's really neat. I don't know what you call it, but it's one of those limited edition things. You pull the back part of the truck out. The box slides out as it extends the truck to full length of the semi. Oops! And I almost just dropped the whole thing right here on the counter. It comes with a apron that's been splattered with blood, and yeah, it's a really neat box. It's all really well put together. It looks really cool. So if you're a big fan of the movie, it's definitely awesome. Now, what really shines is all the extra discs it gives you. Let's see, there's 4 feature commentaries by everybody. And there's some featurettes here. There's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shocking Truth, which is a really cool thing. And there's Flesh Wounds featuring the 7 stories of the Saw. That's got all kinds of the actors telling stories, personal accounts, and just memories of doing the movie and stuff. So, and then there's of course a tour of the original house with Gunnar Hansen. If you don't know who Gunnar Hansen is, that's the guy that plays Leatherface. He had unfortunately passed away. There's Off the Hook with the actress that, of course, got the hook in the movie. There's The Business of the Saw, which is a interview with production manager Ron Bosman. And then there's some deleted scenes, outtakes, and then there's some stuff from the guy that played Grandpa in it. That's really cool. And then there's an interview with some other people here. It says The Cutting Chainsaw, an interview with the editor, the editor that did the thing. And then there's some more deleted scenes, blooper reel, outtakes from The Shocking Truth, Horror's Hollow Ground, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's the guy that did the makeup effects for Grandpa. He's in there. He's actually a plastic surgeon. Weird. But yeah, he did it. But that's what his job is. I don't think he continued with the makeup industry at all. There's still galleries, and there's the 40th anniversary trailer, more trailers, TV spots, radio spots. So that's kind of cool. Exclusive bonus disc. I wonder what I haven't actually watched that or got into that. But, the thing is, if you look back at this film, and it's like, okay, also, Tobe Hooper had just passed away. I just learned that he just passed away not too long ago. And I was like, wow, really? Like, just a couple days ago, he just passed away. Or, that was like, wow, that just, it's so, like, something just impacts me when you look at this, and it's like all the people that were involved in this movie, the director, the actors, the actresses, they've all passed away. And that's so crazy, you just think like, man, you don't realize that time is marching on, man. Time is just moving. And I've said this before, and I've said it like in some of my previous uploads here, like, the radio show, that time is just, it's a precious thing. We don't own it. We have no control over it. It's every night we lay our heads down, we just pray and hope we wake up in the morning. That's a blessing that we do. And so you have to look at it that way, because, every time you go to bed, you may not wake. And you hope you do, you assume you do, but, you just sometimes you don't. And that becomes your time. And I think it's important to, I said it before, you gotta live, you gotta laugh, you gotta enjoy things, enjoy life, and not take things so seriously. And on that account, which leads us into another conversation, another topic, as you guys know, maybe you do or maybe you don't, I work in the gun business. That's what I do. I am in gun shops. When I first got out here to the great desert of Arizona, I started working at an indoor range. Great job, actually. Really enjoyed it. I wish I made more money at it because I'd still be there. But no kidding, that job was absolutely just a dream job. Management was super cool. Super, super cool. My manager there at the gun range made me laugh just about every day I worked. And I wish I had made more money. I had felt that I left that job because I had felt that there was more to explore in the industry. I felt like maybe there was something else to do or something else to experience, something else to learn. I really didn't realize that I actually was in a really good job. It was actually fun. But the paycheck in the end didn't really make the ends meet that I needed to every month. Or, at the end when all your bills stack up, and then, of course, cost of living and all that added in, it really didn't do it for me. So that was part of the other reason but, if given the chance or the opportunity to go back and possibly make decent money or so with them, I probably would go back. But, of course, it is what it is, as they say. But I moved on to other company. It's a pretty big company. I'm definitely getting more hours than I want. But in the end, you get your paycheck and you're pretty satisfied with it. You got all the hours, but you really don't have much of a life in Force. And that's also part of the reason why I'm kind of doing this right here, because it's easier to upload these audio files than it is an actual whole video. Because right now, of course, I don't have internet. I still don't have internet. Money is not the excuse anymore. It's just the time, setting aside the time and going and putting it all together and then calling the people and figuring it out. But see, a lot of it too is like, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into, I got to call them and figure out the rates because I can't I don't want to add on much more bills at the end of the month than I already have, because I got to be careful out here, you guys. I got to remember, I jumped on a plane off an island where I had family and friends surrounding me to help me out every inch of the way of life, to where jumping on a plane all alone with my bags and moving out to a great big state and getting an apartment and kind of going, well, gee, I hope I can make it. I need to be careful. I need to be careful about what I can and can't spend. And when you do something like internet or something that's tacking on a guaranteed chunk out of your money every month that you're going to have to come up with, so for me, I need to try to limit as much of that as possible. So I'm just really trying to make sure that when I do get internet, I want to make sure I'm getting just the basics, what I need to be able to continue doing YouTube and get online and watch some of my favorite YouTube videos and get back in touch with some of the channels that I really enjoy and seem to have left behind, because I used to be able to watch everybody's videos and keep up with it, and now so much I can't do that because of the time. So Anyhow, so that's my excuse right now for doing this audio format. Other than that, but it's also been a lot more fun. It's been interesting because it's something new. It's something I haven't done before, and I was really trying to figure it out and how to do it. So yay for me! I figured it out with a little help from Santee. I appreciate it. But yes, I had figured out how to make this audio bit work and upload it. So that I've been trying to do that and figure that out. So that's been a great accomplishment for me. So on the other note, I wanted to talk about this, and this kind of goes back. It touches a little bit on being happy in life and trying to stay positive. You read a lot on the internet. You always read blogs or even with the like the Google reviews. Always review the shop. I went into the shop and the guy was just grumpy and he didn't treat me right and blah blah blah. And you always see this negative response. And then you always hear a lot of the people that say, well, why is it that always anybody that works behind a gun counter is always grumpy or rude or treats me really bad or something like that? It seems to be a following trend. And to be honest with you, yes, it's kind of demoralizing for the business. It makes you kind of not want to be in the business. And I've experienced that a little bit myself. Now, as somebody that's been on both sides of the counter and currently also right now, on that salesman side of the counter, some of the things that I do, like I don't try to make up somebody's decision on what they're going to buy, be it ammunition or a firearm. I like them to make their own decision. That was taught to me by my boss that owned the company I worked for back in Hawaii, the small little mom and pop shop, which was true mom and pop shop. And I think those are important in America and any kind of business, regardless if it was guns or just a convenience store, because that's the way it was. But I learned that right away from him. Don't make that decision for people. Let them make the decision because, that way if they're unhappy with it, they can't say or they won't say, well, gee, now the guy just talked me into it. I bought this because he talked me into it and he said it was really good and I really don't like it. It's not really good. Then that sucks. The guy's like, but if the guy made the decision, that's what he decided to buy. Well, and then he has made that decision. Nobody made it for him. Now, I understand they want advice on some things, but, at the same time, that's what YouTube videos are for. That's why I created videos and some of my reviews on certain firearms and revolvers and things that I wanted to look at was like, hey, let's take a look at this thing. Let's see. What are my concerns with it if I was going to be looking at it and buying it now that I've spent the money, bit the bullet, and bought it, right? Discharge the wallet. So, but yeah, and okay, so on the other side of that counter, not to try to back up anybody or stand up for the grumpy guy behind the counter, but a lot of times, the volume of people and stuff that one would be interacting with and one would see and talk to and hear things is a pretty big, large amount of stuff. And a lot of it can be pretty silly. Some of it can be pretty scary. And some of it's just downright stupid. I'm not kidding. I've had a guy come in one time when I was working at a gun counter, grab a shotgun, rack it, and point it right at one of my coworkers. Not purposely do it. And I mean, when you see enough of this kind of stuff, it does create kind of an alarming thing in you where you kind of get a little bit more aware of situational awareness of that kind of thing. I've encountered stuff where I've had a lady come up to my counter in Hawaii and say she was going to buy a gun because of big Hawaiians and she wants to kill them. I'm not kidding. That really happens. And that kind of stuff is very scary. It's very scary in the gun business because, one, you also like, I myself, it's like you want to enjoy the sport. We all like guns we try to be positive about it and we like it for the most average reasons that you would hope that everybody likes them for. We like to take them to the range, and we want to protect ourselves from being invaded in our homes or whatnot. Okay, that is the most sensible. Most of us are sensible gun owners, and we know that. And then there's that percentage that they're just outright batty, and that's where I think the problem becomes. And you get some of the guys that are just downright serious. They're just so serious about it, and I think that comes from it's almost like a macho attitude that comes with it. You carry that chip on your shoulder, and I think that's really, I think it's wrong. I think it's dangerous. I think it's not necessary, and it really hurts the industry. It hurts the gun owners. It hurts guns in general. It makes the guns look bad and gun owners look bad. There should not be that involvement of like the macho-nism, like, oh, I'm macho because I got this gun, this attitude towards it. That's really, we don't need you, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I had this incident with a customer, and he was talking, and he asked me if the ammunition we carried, or if we carried primed ammo, and I was not aware that there's actually a brand called Prime Ammo or Primed Ammo or something like that. I thought he was referring to Prime Ammo, like primer, like is there a primer in it? And I said, well, yeah, all the ammunition has primers in it. But he got all, you were just insulting me or something. So I guess he went on his merry way. But it was just it was a miscommunication. But, instead of trying to work things out like that, some guy storms away and, gets that charge. And I think it's like, we need to take it easy. I mean, it's like my basic thing about that is like, take it easy, live a little, laugh a little, man. Why so serious? Yeah, why can't we just laugh and have fun with the industry? Why does it have to be this so this seriousness to it? It's like, I got my gun and I got it, it's like, let's take a little breather, let's live a little, let's laugh, let's enjoy the sport for what it is. We're supposed to enjoy it, and laugh about it and stuff, and not, it's not supposed to be this big negative, machine. It's supposed to be this nice positive thing that we do, and it's something to enjoy and have, but it's been taking turns, and and all I can say is, for a standpoint for the other people looking in at us and thinking and shaking their heads, what I can say is there's a lot of times where I've seen stuff as a gun guy, as a gun owner, as somebody who works on the other side of the counter. I can understand why some of these people shake their heads and they go, this is dangerous, man. We got to ban this stuff. I can see that. I really can, because sometimes I see stuff that I must say, I shake my head and I say, this person does not need this firearm. This is not good. So all I'm trying to say is, on both sides of the counter, I can see it. Now I can see also from a customer or a buyer's point from that counter, ego. I think ego is a big problem with it. You get a lot of guys that know-it-alls. That I know everything. This is and they like to pride themselves right down to all kinds of specs that really is not any relevance to somebody making up a decision rather to buy a rifle or a handgun or type of ammunition or something like that. And they come off like, they come off, that guy behind the counter can come off like, he's just belittling the person that possibly doesn't know. He's just trying to be there, you got some customers just trying to be there to just try to buy something, but they know they don't want to sound stupid, and sometimes they're afraid to ask because they don't want to sound stupid. That's kind of a bummer, that you got some of these guys behind the counter that they have that macho ego thing going on, and I'm gonna show this guy, I read Guns and Ammo 24/7, man. I eat, live, and breathe, and I drink 9mm bullets in the morning with my coffee or something. It's like, but that really puts a hurt on that, and puts a hurt on the guy that's just simply trying to go in there, and he just really wants to know the difference between a 1911 and a Glock, So I mean, so it's just and then you always get the guy that either, they don't like a certain firearm or whatever, and they have this really big opinionated, thing. Well, you don't want that one because it sucks, and you want this one because, he likes that one. And it's like the guy's just like, well, I just want to see what I like, dude. So, I think that, that can definitely play a factor in that. I think there's definitely both sides to the argument on that. There's something to be said on both sides. And I just figured I'd talk about it and throw my 2 cents in it, being I know what it's like on both sides of the counter and everything. And, I just like to live and joke and have fun with it. I don't really take much things with it seriously. I just take it all with a grain of salt, really, and I'm just laughing and throwing it over my shoulders, really, so. But, I don't know. I don't know where it'll all land me. I don't know if I'll stick with the business or move on to something else and, whatever. But, as they say, again, it is what it is, and we'll see. We'll see where things land. So as of right now, that's where I'm at. That's what I've been doing. Job, been crazy. Again, this week alone has just been absolutely madness. So right now, as you're listening to it, I'm just I'm knee deep at work, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to get home this day because everything is just going crazy. Of course, this is a pre-recorded show, but that's why I had to do it this way as well, because just time. Just running out of it, and I wish I had more time. I wish I had more time to do this stuff with you guys. I really do. I wish I had more time to go out and try to film better YouTube videos and make more things more interesting. I really do. But in the end, that those bills at the end of the month, you need the money. You need the money to survive. If I had more money, I'd be buying more guns to show you guys and talk about. But I don't have the funds to do so. So. I hope the future of the channel is still going to keep going and still keep things happening and still keep you guys inspired, and hopefully keep coming back and subscribing and watching more of the content. And so it's been a rough ride. It really has for me. So I'm still trying to muscle through it all and stay strong and keep it going. And I really want the channel to remain here. So I'm trying hard. Anyway, thanks for listening. Go out and enjoy your Saturday, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. And I'm BATJAC J.W.